To really understand this, we have to step into the mind of a narcissist. At first, they come across as charming, magnetic, even generous. They know exactly how to win people over. But underneath, there's always an agenda: control. They manipulate conversations, twist your words, and use gaslighting so you doubt your own memory. They want you second-guessing yourself, because that keeps you easier to control. But here's their deepest fear, the one they'll never admit: losing that control. When you start to grow stronger, when you no longer react to their games, it terrifies them. They feel their grip loosening, and they don't know how to handle it. Carl Jung described this in terms of projection. Narcissists carry a shadow inside them: insecurity, weakness, fear of being abandoned. Instead of dealing with it, they throw it onto others. So when you rise up, when you stop playing their game, you reflect back the truth they've spent their whole life trying to escape. It's like shining a flashlight into a dark cave. They can't stand it. And here's the part that should make you curious. When a narcissist senses they're losing you, they don't just give up. No, this is when they become most dangerous. They will scramble, plot, and dig deep into their bag of manipulation tricks. And there is one last tactic, one desperate move they use more often than anything else. Stay with me, because in just a moment, I'll reveal exactly what this final dirty trick is, and why understanding it might just set you free forever. So how do you know when a narcissist has started to feel cornered by your strength? There are some clear signs, and if you recognize yourself in these, it means you've grown in ways they never expected. The first sign is you set boundaries. You say no when something doesn't feel right. Maybe you refuse to answer late-night calls, or you don't drop everything to cater to their needs anymore. To a narcissist, that no feels like a door slamming on their control. The second sign is you stop reacting emotionally. In the past, maybe their criticism made you cry, or their silent treatment left you anxious. But now you respond with calm. You don't give them the fireworks they crave, and that lack of reaction drives them mad. Another sign? You detach from their approval. Once their compliments or disapproval shaped how you felt about yourself. Now you know your worth. You don't need them to validate you anymore. And finally, you recognize their games. You see the patterns: gaslighting, guilt-tripping, the endless drama. And instead of getting sucked in, you quietly step back. Let me give you a simple picture. Imagine you were once tangled in a web they spun around you. But one by one you cut the threads. First with a boundary, then with calm detachment, then with clarity. Before they know it, you're standing outside the web, free. And that's when they panic. Because now they know you're too strong for their tricks to work. But what happens when they realize this? That's when they pull out their final weapon. The one last dirty trick they think can still destroy you. Here it is. The moment a narcissist sees they can't control you directly anymore, they shift to their final strategy: character assassination. Since they can no longer manipulate you face to face, they go after something else: your reputation. They start whispering lies, twisting stories, dropping half-truths. They paint you as unstable, selfish, even cruel. They want to poison how others see you, so that even if you've escaped their grasp, you're left isolated and doubted. This is called a smear campaign, and it's one of the most devastating tactics they use. And here's where Jung's wisdom comes in. Remember what he said about projection? What they accuse you of is almost always a reflection of themselves. If they call you selfish, it's because they are. If they call you crazy, it's their own chaos they can't admit. But knowing this doesn't make the betrayal any less painful, because often it's not strangers they target. It's people you care about: friends, family, coworkers. Suddenly, you hear rumors. Someone looks at you differently, and that hurts more than anything the narcissist ever said to your face. This dirty trick is their last attempt to win. They hope if they can't control you, they can at least control the story about you. They want to make you doubt yourself, to force you back into defending your name, wasting your energy, and feeling alone. But here's the empowering truth. The very fact they've resorted to this means you've already won. You've broken free from their direct control. This is just their desperate attempt to pull you back. Stay with me, because in the next part, I'll show you how to protect yourself when this happens. How to stand strong even when they attack your reputation. That's the part most people miss. But it's the key to never being trapped again. Now you might wonder, why do narcissists stoop so low? Why go to such extreme lengths to destroy someone who simply chose to stand strong? Carl Jung gives us the answer through his theory of the shadow. The shadow is a part of ourselves we refuse to see. The flaws, fears, and insecurities we bury deep inside. For most of us, facing that shadow is hard, but it's also how we grow. We accept our mistakes, we learn, we become whole. But narcissists? They can't do this. To them, admitting a flaw feels like death. So instead, they project. They take everything they hate about themselves, and they throw it onto you. When they call you selfish, they're revealing their own greed. When they say you're unstable, they're showing you their inner chaos. The smear campaign, that last dirty trick, is nothing more than their shadow screaming. It's not me, it's them. They're desperate to escape the truth about themselves, so they rewrite the story with you as the villain. But here's what Jung would want you to remember. Projection is an illusion. It has power only if you believe it. When you see clearly that their attacks are just their own shadow in disguise, you no longer take the bait. You stop asking, what if they're right? And instead think, this is their fear talking, not my truth. The moment you recognize this, the smear campaign loses its sharpest edge. It becomes less of a weapon and more of a desperate cry. And when you see it for what it really is, desperation, you free yourself from falling into their trap. So what can you do when the narcissist tries this last dirty trick? How do you protect yourself without getting dragged into their chaos? The first key is simple but powerful. Stay calm. Narcissists thrive on drama. If you fight back with rage, you give them exactly what they want, proof in their story that you're unstable. Refuse to play their game. The second step, live with integrity. Instead of chasing down every rumor or defending yourself endlessly, let your actions speak. Over time, the truth outshines lies. People who know you will see through the smear. Third, keep your boundaries strong. You don't owe long explanations or emotional arguments to anyone. If someone doubts you because of the narcissist's lies, let them. Protect your peace above all else. Practical step 4, document evidence. Save texts, emails, voicemails, anything that shows the reality of what's happening. If things escalate legally or socially, you'll have proof. And finally, Jung gives us the deeper wisdom here. Practice individuation. That means standing strong in your identity, rooted in who you are, regardless of what others say. You no longer live to control the opinions of others. You live to honor your own truth. And let me remind you of something important. You are not alone. Many people have faced this exact situation. It can feel isolating. But know that the smear campaign is just the narcissist's way of lashing out when they realize they can no longer control you. Hold your head high. Stay calm. Stay grounded. Because the fact they're resorting to this final dirty trick is the greatest proof of all. You've already broken free. Now here's the part many people miss. The hidden gift inside this last dirty trick. Yes, it hurts when someone tries to smear your name. Yes, it feels unfair when lies spread faster than truth. But look closer. If they are attacking you in this way, it's because they've already lost the one thing they crave most, control over you. Their smear campaign is not a sign of your weakness. It's a neon sign flashing your growth. You've cut the strings they once pulled. You've stopped reacting to their chaos. And that frightens them so much, they lash out in desperation. Carl Jung taught that transformation happens when we face the shadow, both our own and the shadow others try to project onto us. In a strange way, the narcissist's attack is proof that you are awakening. You're no longer a puppet in their drama. You're a person with strength, clarity, and independence. So, instead of seeing their smear as a curse, see it as confirmation. It means you've reached a level they cannot touch. Their lies are only words. They cannot rewrite your truth, your worth, or your light. Let this be encouragement. You don't need to chase their stories or fix their image of you. Stand firm. Keep growing. Because the dirt they throw says more about them than it ever will about you. And the very fact they resorted to this trick shows you are winning in the most important way, by breaking free. As we wrap up, I want you to take a deep breath and let this truth sink in. If you're experiencing this last dirty trick, it's not because you are weak. It's because you have become stronger than the narcissist ever imagined. Their lies and smear campaigns are not reflections of who you are. They are mirrors of their own shadow, their own fear, their own desperation. You are not defined by their stories. You are defined by your resilience, your truth, and your growth. Carl Jung reminds us that individuation, becoming whole, is about stepping fully into your authentic self, regardless of how others may try to distort it. That's what you're doing, and that is rare, powerful, and unstoppable. So the next time the whispers grow louder, or you feel the sting of betrayal, remember this. Those lies are only noise. They are proof that your light has become too bright for their darkness. Their attacks are the final sign that you've already won. And if this message spoke to you today, don't leave without subscribing. This channel is where we explore psychology, empowerment, and Jung's timeless wisdom to help you live free, strong, and unshakable. Because when their lies get louder, it's only because your strength has become undeniable.